connected to an automatic voice message system.
Dear pretty girls, what's your mood today? I feel like we got a lot to talk about.
Girl, how you feeling today?
I don't know, but we damn sure gonna talk about it.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Jantia Janae, and this is Dear Pretty Girls Podcast. And you already know I'm your favorite country babe, but we also got Miss Rocking the Spot, Don't Make It Hot. What's up?
Hello, it's your girl Rocky, rocking the spot. Don't make it hot from New York to Atlanta. What happened?
What's
We
happening?
excited.
And we cannot forget about our guest today. All right. Y'all see, we have a man with us today. So you already know we finna tap into the mental health of our men, all right? Mr. Lamar Handy, how are you doing today?
What's up? Good. How are you all?
Yes, I'm happy to have a man on the couch.
Yeah. So y'all don't have men on the couch too often.
You
Not
are
too often.
our
second.
fourth, because we had the
Nathan and them, they don't count.
Okay, they don't count. So yeah, you're right.
I mean, they count, but they don't count.
Nice. Okay.
You need masculinity.
And
That's right.
today we are talking about the men silence. What's the title? Okay, I can't find it out that I was. What's the title?
The title is Why Do Men Suffer in Silence?
Why do men suffer in silence?
Yes,
and I feel like you are a great guest for this one because his platform is literally about men mental health. So
I lied. It's called Unmasking the Pain. I
Same
like that.
thing.
That's deep. No. They need to hear that. Unmasking the Pain.
Unmasking
Why
the
black
pain.
men suffer in silence.
Yeah, that's kind of deep.
That's
Really
deep. I
that.
like
Very,
that.
very deep. Very deep.
very deep.
Very
Very
deep.
deep.
And I feel like you're going to be able to help us kind of navigate that because as women, even though we try to tap into like the man mindset, only a man can tell us how a man feels.
True.
Mhm.
Very
So we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And also we have a segment called the Girls Group Chat. So it gets a little spicy on the Girls Group Chat. Just going to put it out there.
Okay.
So you ready to hop on in it?
Let's go.
Well, speaking of your platform, you deal with a lot of like mental health when it comes to the men. So why do you think a lot of men, black men, suffer in silence?
So I look at it from this aspect. So you look at society. So growing up, you're told, I'm 36 years old. So when I was growing up, I was told, the men don't cry. Men must be the strong one. You're the one that, hold the household down, make sure everything gets done. You're the stronghold of the family, you pretty much the one that gonna make sure that everything gets taken care of. So what happens is when you start to have those weak moments, you don't want the family to see your weak moments.
Yeah.
You don't want the children to see it. You don't really want the public to see it. So what happens is your mind and your body becomes accustomed to just having hurt and kind of sweeping under the rug and kind of continue to go on with life and kind of go on. So years and years pass by, and all that hurt and that pain is still kind of bottled up inside. So what normally happens is, in some men's life, you get to a point where you have that mental break. Kind of where you just can't really take it anymore seriously. And kind of like at that point, that's when you kind of sometimes, man turns to things such as drugs, alcohol. Sometimes we keep it real, whoremongers, because we got this, hurt in society. And so with this pretty much, it's your emotional hurt, kind of emotions that really hadn't been sought out. You hadn't really received the help you need. And so a lot of times, you don't want to look like a weak man. In the generation from our parents, grandparents, even myself and others, you were looked at as being weak if you came out and said that, hey, mentally I'm not okay. The first thing people say, like, oh, he crazy. And so for a man, especially in the black community, men don't want to be looked at that way. And so that's one of the reasons why, it's so hard for us to kind of come out when we're not okay.
Yeah. So JT, I want to ask you, for us as women, at what point do we look at a man and be like, he's weak? Because I feel like I'm guilty of that. Not to say they're weak, but it's like, he always crying. Like, I hate when niggas be on Instagram, like, posting the story, the blank story, and then type, like, some weirdo shit. Like, what, not to say, honestly, I'm holding myself accountable right now.
No, honestly, I don't think I ever looked at men and called them weak unless, like, they just being a crybaby ass bitch.
Like, but, like, what does that mean to us? Like, what do
for
they be
me,
doing?
that means, like, you just crying for no damn reason. You ain't got no more milk. You just want to cry. Damn, shut your ass up. That's when you want to cry. But also, I have a brother, and I look up to my brother and my dad a lot. So it's like, I rarely look at men being like really weak. Cause I understand men go through shit, and I understand, like, I've seen them not say anything and just continue to stay strong. And it's like, I know you want to break down, so I don't really look at men at all as like you weak, unless you just want to be a crybaby, like for no damn reason.
I just don't like it on social media. But where else are they supposed to go?
So I guess, so listen to both of you all sides.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say like a man goes on social media and kind of like had these blank stories, and you know, what irritates you about that part?
I don't know. It's just like, come on, yo, like, what are we doing? Like, I don't like when anybody does it though. Like, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Right. If I'm going through a breakup, I'm not gonna post on my story like some sad shit. Like, but that's just, I don't know. But what are black men supposed to do? Like, again, I'm holding myself accountable because it's wrong. Like, black men cry too.
Well, you know, a lot of times I will say, so you have to look at it as a difference. So some black men put on a pity party. I will say, you know, if you out here, you know, not holding your weight, you know, not working, not taking care of your kids, you know, you can't say, okay, well, maybe he's has a mental illness going on, like he's mentally unstable. Can't really say that. But a lot of times in some situations, you have men where now social media has become such a big thing in society that social media is a way for people to cry out for help. You know, I've seen men kind of go to social media and just start pouring their heart out, saying certain things, and in that moment, they don't feel comfortable talking to somebody in person about the situation. So they feel like, you know, social media is my outlet. It's kind of like I'm crying out behind the phone or behind the computer, pretty much, basically. Yeah. So it's like, you know, I can be judged through social media, but you can't judge me right in front of my face. Yeah. So let me type it out to the world, let people know this is my cry for help. You know, and so a lot of times that's what they're doing. A lot of times, you know, and you know, people, you know, I'm saying people put, you know, hearts, you know, praying for you, you know, you're not alone, blah blah. A lot of times, they want somebody to just kind of come to their inbox and be like, hey, what's going on? You know, is everything okay? They want to vent, somebody to talk to. So a lot of times, that's how men get their points across in certain situations.
So, okay, because you started your foundation off something, right? So it's like, did you ever have a point in your life where you felt like, I need to do something for me? Like, basically what I'm trying to ask, when did you realize within yourself that men needed to be heard? Like, did you have a moment that you went through?
So it's kind of, that question always kind of comes to me kind of weird. So for me, for example, a lot of, you know, guys I grew up with, cousins, didn't really have their dad in their life. For me, my dad raised me, basically. And my mom got divorced when I was like maybe 6 years old. Went through this whole custody battle thing with court systems. So we lived with my mom for maybe a few years, and then we lived with my dad from the time I was maybe like 6, 7 years old until I became 18 years old and went to college. So for me, you know, I had my dad with me every single day. I would go see my mom on weekends, every other weekend. But my dad, he got remarried, so I had a stepmom in the house too as well. So for me, it was kind of like, you know, raised up. Me and my dad, we got along, I guess when I was growing up, but we always so bumped heads. It's like, you know, he's always, you know, standing on me hard. I had a little sister. You know, I'm looking like, okay, well, she's being spoiled. She's the, you know, baby, you know, everything that happens, I'm getting blamed for. And so it kind of made the relationship with me and him a little kind of not the best growing up. And then for me, I guess I had a lot of hurt from me remembering the divorce itself, which has really carried over to me for adulthood when it comes to relationships, being able to trust people, you know, because at that point, you know, it's being transparent. It's kind of like at that point, I guess, like, you know, it's like for my mom, I guess, it's like, you know, man, I love my mom, you know, it's like, well, why did they let this happen? You know, it's kind of like my trust for women almost kind of went like, man, like, you know, my friends at school, you know, they were them all every single day. Me, I with my stepmom every day, my dad, I'm cool, got a good life. I see my mom, I talk to her, but it's like, I'm not in the house with her, so I'm gonna ask this question. The people like, this your mama? That's my stepmom. So it's like, that's like, you know, cause so for me, you know, my sister, she remember, but don't remember for real. But I remember a lot of the things that happened. So for me, it kind of carried on to me to adulthood. And so what really kind of got me, you know, to that point to where like, man, you know, even growing up, you know, me acting out in school, you know, I wasn't a bad child, but I was just a typical young boy child just doing whatever. So for me, my point, I felt like, man, you know what, like it's really some other men out here going through things, probably like 2019. Before that, I kind of had a few, you know, things in my mind. I thought about like, you know what, man, like, you know, sometimes I feel like, you know, am I really okay? I'm gonna have this breakdown point. What's really going on? But like 2019, I was driving home from work one day. I was working full time and I also had a part time little gig. I'm teaching. And so I started having like this episode where I was on the phone with one of my female friends and I started like, heart started pounding real fast, legs shaking. I was just feeling real, just like jittery. I'm like, what's going on with me? So I'm on the phone with her, like, hey, what should I do? Like, I'm feeling like I'm having a heart attack. Now, I had never had a heart attack before, but to me, I was feeling like, man, can't breathe. What's going on?
Anxiety.
Yeah, like anxiety attack. So I drove myself to the urgent care, got there, they ran all kind of tests on me. It's like, we can't find anything. At the time, I was living in Gwinnett County. So it's like, go to Gwinnett Medical, right there behind the urgent care. Drove over there, ran all kind of tests. Nurse came back in. She was like, asked me this kind of question, what's going on in life? And so they just found, she was like, you having a panic attack.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I had never had a panic attack. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
And so from that point on, it's kind of like they gave me some medication. But what's so weird about it is I never forget, like, I went to the hospital, I'm gonna say maybe that Tuesday or Wednesday. So that Friday, I was supposed to go to his birthday gathering. So I went to the gathering, but I was feeling very just like jittery and just not myself. I was feeling really off.
Mm-hmm.
So I still went to the party, but I didn't really want to drink because I was on a medication, and I had heard people say, don't drink and take the medication at the same time. And I was just feeling real, real uneasy. And so it was so bad to where, like, when I first started having these attacks, I had to sleep at nighttime with a nightlight on. And I would have these episodes where I would just jump up out my sleep all of a sudden at nighttime. I'm like, man, what is going on, man? So for me, that's when I was like, okay, how can I control this? Yeah, I'm taking the meds. At first, I wasn't comfortable talking about it at all. I didn't want to tell people what's going on. I'm like, man, people think I'm crazy for real.
Yeah.
Like, but this
I
shit
think
is
I know
real.
exactly what you're talking about. I'm gonna mess this word up. Rocky helped me sleep paralysis.
Paralysis.
Yeah.
Yep, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And that's like what, when you sleep and you can't move.
It's basically like, you sleep and you can't move, and it's like you're basically having like a panic attack in your dream. And it's like one of those things where you're literally fighting demons. Literally, it's like Black Shadow.
Yeah.
But I was having them every single night. So I got to the point where I started fighting back. They were finna keep fighting me. I wasn't finna keep hiding up under my cover. I got to the point where I actually started fighting the demons back in my dream.
Got to.
And I haven't had a so I had to fight back. I've been straight since.
Right.
So that's is that like the experience you was having?
Kind of sort of for real. Like, sleep, and then you kind of jump up. It's like, man, what's going on? I'm looking around like, am I good? Am I okay? So you sweating, right?
Screaming, ain't nobody hear you.
Nothing at all. And then the light on, I'm like, man, what is going on? And so, it happened. It went on for like a few months until I was like, man, I can't live like this. Right. And so I ended up getting a therapist. Started seeing a therapist. First therapist I had was like, he was a guy I had found online, typing in, male black therapist. He was a minister and a therapist, but he wasn't too religious too much. But I just wasn't getting anything out of him. Like, I would kind of talk to him, tell him stuff, and he wouldn't give me no real feedback. So I was like, man, am I really accomplishing things? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm not really getting the feedback from him. So I stopped going to a therapist maybe like 2 years or so. Then I started, dealing with grief, losing people, and that's when I found another therapist, and A1. A was kind of talked to him. He talks to me back. Gives me like dissect when we talk. Have our monthly meetings of kind of like what he kind of says. And that helps me a lot. And I think a lot of men needs that. As like black men, we're really afraid of the whole thing with therapy.
Yeah, I was gonna say shout out to you for being brave enough and aware enough to know, like, let me go get some help. But like, I want to ask you, if you don't mind me getting your business a little bit, what was it that catapulted that first panic attack? Like, what were you going through? What was the climate in your life at that time? Because I know you talked about the divorce. That seemed like it was some time before.
Time before that. At the time, probably like working, stress, honestly.
Just day-to-day stress.
Day-to-day stress, work. That's probably what it was for the most part. I would say, stress and just work, just life in general, life. I always tell people, I know one thing, I guess, I would say for a man that'll make a man, mentally unstable is finances.
Oh yeah.
Because as a man, no man wants to be broke.
Yeah.
No man wants to look broke. You go out with your homeboys, your friends. If they out balling, you want to ball too. If you can't ball, you looking like, well, you ain't gonna tell them, right? You're like, man, I'm trying to do what I can. You gonna spend the whole check and then go home, but like, damn, I can't pay my bills next week. What's going on? So don't do it. So a lot of times, like for black men, and that's one thing I think we kind of get messed up on the whole social media, looking at how other people live.
Yeah.
Mentally, that financial thing will break a man down to its core.
A woman too, ain't it?
You're right. But and for a woman, but a man, it's worse. Worse pressure.
You can't even get no girls. You can't even go on the date.
Right. You look.
That we got that society.
That's how it is. It is. You look at it as like you're the provider. You're supposed to be strong. If she can't get it, you're supposed
to get it. Even if she can't get it, you're supposed to get it
anyway.
Twice times. You can't let her hustle you.
Exactly. So that's, I think, one big thing that kind of comes with like the whole mental thing. And one time I had this seminar out at Ponce City Market. And so we had a seminar. The host, he was like, okay, I want y'all to, on a card, write down, one thing each group thinks that causes a man to have, mental illness or, mental instability. And finance was one thing. First thing was finance. Second thing was relationship. And third thing was children, pretty much. It's like pretty much.
It's a chain effect, right? The finances affect your relationships.
Right.
Your kids.
Really gonna affect your kids.
Right. Kids, yeah, big time. And so a lot of times in society these days, that's where you see a lot. A lot of these guys, even so I've been doing like different, research and different events. A lot of guys incarcerated. Not all of them. I always say this, like, not every black guy that's incarcerated, has a mental illness. I never say that, but it's a high percentage of them that it's really a mental illness that they don't really know how to deal with, or really don't know they really have it for real. A lot of times we just find guys that continues to keep going back to jail, finding ways, but what happens is they can't mentally cope in society, because it's too much. So that their safe space, the safeguard, is going back into the jail. And that really don't really solve a lot of things for real. Because you sit in jail, you never really get clean anyway.
Yeah, but you know what? I be feeling that. Not that I feel that, because I don't want black men incarcerated, but you got to think in jail there's no rent. You got food.
Right.
That food kind of nasty.
But I'm saying, and if you put it into perspective, like, it's rough out here.
It's rough.
The world is terrible.
Yeah,
but I did hear homeless men say, like, it was some YouTuber, like TikToker, they were just building people out of jail randomly, and they accidentally built out a homeless man. He was like, why you do that? Like,
they want to go back.
Right.
They want to go back. Gas. I was driving to them. I'm about to have to get gas again. Like, the world is just drained. It just be little things that just tick you off. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna crash out. I need gas again.
It be like
just
that.
Little stupid stuff.
What be getting me is when they be raising the sign up on the side of the expressway saying they need some money. They be like, man, don't come to my car. Be saying
I do want to start giving food, snacks, or something. I want to get them folks something. So
I'm like $1 away from being beside you.
And
I wish that that takes a mental toll, like, on people, because I love helping. If I can help you, I will help you. If I can give you literally the world, I will give you the world. So it's like seeing, especially men and the veterans. I'm like, damn, y'all serve the damn America. Y'all serve the country, and they got y'all on the street.
I be trying not to say much. America.
That's real.
I'm gonna pop my mess, because of America, you know how I feel about you right now. Okay? All these men that's on the streets, and they're veterans on top of that, and they don't serve in Vietnam War, World War II, World War. I don't know if they still alive from World War I, but still, for real.
I'll tell you what's so rude about that. So I know my neighbor, he probably won't be watching this, but I know a person, a neighbor, which is crazy. Now, a neighbor of mine who's a veteran. So one day I'm driving down my street or whatever, down the highway where I live in Lithonia. So I'm driving, like, that man look familiar to me. Held the sign up, like, I need help. I'm like, that can't be what I think it is. So I, drove back from running my errand. He was still out there. And so I looked up again, I was like, oh crap, that is him. So now, my neighborhood, he's a veteran, a retired veteran, but not getting all his benefits, not getting everything he needs. Make it hard. And he's out here on the corner asking people for money, asking people for change. And I'm just like,
that's fucked up.
man, this is criminal. This man served the country. Like, how can this happen?
You know what put me hip to it? What's the movie? Forrest Gump. Lieutenant
I
Dan.
love Forrest.
When I
Yeah,
saw Lieutenant
yeah.
Dan, I'm like, how many
He was
Lieutenant
the
Dans do we see on
high
the street
up.
every
Yeah.
day?
He was
Yeah.
high up.
Yeah.
Freaking Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
I like we see people like him in the wheelchairs on the streets every
24/7.
day.
Every day.
Ligaments
Lost their
blown off.
leg
Yeah,
because of the
every
war.
day, every day.
Ugh,
Every day.
shout out to Forrest Gump.
What really, you think about it, when one thing happens, it kind of takes them to PTSD.
Yes.
A lot of times where they can't get their mindset right, and a lot of times the military makes a person that mentally unstable for a while because things they experience, what they see, so they have PTSD, they come home with anxiety, depression, all kind of stuff. And so a lot of times that kind of stuff too as well draws them to the whole mindset of, well, like, if I can't make it, can't get the money at home, I'm going to the street.
Yeah.
So don't give it to me. Let me good to go.
If you had, for any man out here, have you ever, and if you want to share, have you ever been like at a very low point? And if so, how did you get out that low point?
Oh, heck yeah. So, yeah. So, and what's crazy about it is, so I never forget one time. So one time, like, I hate days where I kind of go to work, go home, just want to get into bed, like every single day. And I was like, man, what's wrong, man? I was just feeling off. I'm like, man, it's something going on. I'm not sure what it is, And so finally when I found this land there, I kept thinking. I was like, damn, I'm depressed. I really went into a deep depression, and I was like, man, how do I put myself out this thing? And so, at first, I'm kind of very personal, so I really didn't really talk about it. But then finally, one day, my mom called me, I think maybe we were talking, and so I was like, let me share something with you. I was like, I really think I'm in a deep depression right now. I was like, I come home every day, I'm like, I'm in bed every day, I won't even lie, shed a few tears, like for real, like I'm in this depression, like I'm feeling like, I got people around me, but I'm feeling like I'm alone in the same thing. Like, so, what do I do? How do I get myself out this funk? And so for me, therapy helped me as well, and kind of stop beating myself up. A lot of times I think I would put myself in these whole depressed modes when I start feeling like I wasn't accomplishing what I want to accomplish in life. I wasn't far as I wanted to be.
Grace.
Right. I wouldn't give myself enough grace, and that's what kind of had me to that point. So what I've kind of learned to do for myself is kind of take time for myself. Even in the midst of, working, trying to do things for foundation, full-time job, friends, whatever it may be. It's kind of like just take time for self a lot of times, kind of have time to, self-reflect and become self-aware of self. That always help. And don't be ashamed to kind of talk about it. Because a lot of times with, as men, it's like, we go through stuff, and it's a lot of men. I tell any woman out here, it is a lot of men out here who are hurting to this day, like right now.
That shit's so heavy, ain't it?
It's heavy, and it's becoming heavier and heavier every single day. And that's one reason why, I'm really trying to put it out here, like, man, don't be afraid, because you're not alone. You having a conversation or just saying I'm not okay, it's gonna really help somebody else. Because think about it, a lot of times men commit suicide 24/7 because
it's not talked about.
No, because we can't face the pressures of the world.
It was a dancer. I can't think of his name. He was
on the Ellen show.
Was it Ellen?
He's a black man. He killed himself.
Yeah, he got the white wife who just recently was in the blog.
See, you know who I'm talking about?
Twitch.
Twitch. Yep.
It was an Ellen show. Yeah. And that was sad. A prime example, like how I think they said maybe a few hours before that, he was with his wife. Everything was fine.
They masked him. We have no idea.
No idea.
So what can us as black women do to help? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're dating a black man. How do we know what they're going through? How do we help?
And not even just dating sons, brothers.
Yeah,
fathers.
true that. Mm-hmm.
And I would say a lot of times look for signs, but sometimes you don't always have signs.
Yeah.
And so it really can. So, make it more common to just ask that question sometimes, and not all the time, but hey, everything good with you, or if you dating, for example, one night y'all going for date night, instead of him paying, look, I know it's been similar odds, but let me just take care of you.
I'm to that.
You relax.
I'm feeling bad for black men. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if I gotta pay my bills, your bills, pay for your food, my food. Like, damn, like I pay for your hair. How much is
it?
it?
Black men, like I'm closer to men before I would get closer to a woman because I feel like men don't be having nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we go through a lot of stuff in the world alone. Because some stuff you go through is personal. You know, you may have that one or two close homeboys you want to talk to about, but then you don't want to talk to about just to know anybody because it takes a lot, your pride, for you to kind of open up and have those conversations. I think, just being that listening ear is the main thing.
Because like I really be
real
for men. Like I hate men that have to go through. Like society. Can we stop making men feel like they have to be strong all the time? Like let's just stop that narrative because.
And like take the mask off.
Yeah,
like,
first show y'all look out.
And I think it's really bad with black men because we put them in such a box. I feel like black men gotta be tough. They gotta be swaggy.
They gotta protect.
They gotta have money. They gotta have the gun. You know what I'm saying? It's like they gotta know how to fight. They gotta have everything. I feel bad for black men all the time. I really do. But then it's just like I don't know. I don't think we help it.
Like stop it. Like even like
it.
when like you see a father embrace his son and like man, I love you. That's one step of making that young man there know, like, I got another man that really love me, who don't mind expressing his emotions.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, a lot of these young guys out here who 13, 14, who, have went to game bang and things of that nature.
They call crash outs.
Crash out, right.
Now.
Really, one thing about it is they missing that love.
Yeah.
Prime example, maybe like a few months ago, a grandmother reached out to me, said her grandson was, having issues with him and his mom. They really want, seeing eye to eye. Mom got some things going on. Dad wasn't really there in his life. He only like 11, 13 years old, but acting out of school. The grandmother could see that the road he was going down was about leading him into like destruction. And so she reached out to me, said she had let him talk to teachers, talk to other people, had female therapists he talked to. She said, but nobody was getting through to him. And so I said, well, you know what? Let me look up a black male therapist. Let me get a preferred therapist that we have. Yeah. And they had 5 sessions talk, and she said she saw a total difference in the situation.
Yeah, that's really do help.
It's really, that's all really what he needed. He needed to see somebody who looks like him, that he feel can represent and relate to him, to have that conversation. And that, has really helped him, soothe things over.
And that's something we don't talk about too. Like, people really go to gangs for family. Like, when I met my ex,
we talked about that on the show too.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you so like involved with this gangs? He's like, when you growing up and your mom kicked you out and all this extra shit, which black moms, stop doing that. Stop putting these black boys out in the streets. That shit ain't gonna help nothing. But anyway, neither here nor there. They go to gangs for family.
Yeah,
that's their family.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
Because just because they your family, at the end of the day, somebody gotta die.
But they do be holding it down though. Gang members be holding it down. You go to jail, niggas sending you money. They pay for lawyers.
Looking out for you.
They look out. They do. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a love and hate relationship.
Yeah,
it's a love and hate relationship. I do want to talk about so first, like we mentioned in the beginning, he has a foundation called the DL Foundation. I said that correct? DL, I'm like, I know I forgot something. The DL Handy Foundation. I'm doing that sound right. But he have different events. And the last event he had was a masquerade ball. Ooh. So, if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about this event? What was it for? The awareness of it? I wasn't there, so I want to know what happened.
The masquerade ball. I always wanted to go to one.
Explain it to me like I was there.
Listen. So,
it's right there.
So I said, like, where you get the name DL from? So my name is Dennis Lamar. So when I was going through trying to get names through the Secretary of State, I was trying other stuff there, trying something called Dreams. It was already taken. So I was like, let's just try this DL Handy Foundation. They may do it. Tried it.
Look at this. This you? Look at this young man. Him is a model.
Check me out, Hey, check me out. That's me. So this past last year, 2024, was our 4th annual charity event. I had the first one in 2019. I didn't have a foundation at the time. What kind of got that going? Pretty much, I used to kind of throw this little Christmas gathering. I love to have a good time. So with my friends, at my apartment at the time. And so I was like, man, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna have this event. People come over here and have a good time. I'm like, why not next year try to have something where people can dress up and party with a purpose? Yeah. So 2019 had the first charity event, had about 150 people. Okay. We raised about $2,000. I was like, man, at that time I took my savings account, put it together, got a few sponsors. Then COVID came, so took a break. 2022 came back. People kept asking like, "Hey, you gonna try to do charity event again?" I was like, back then, kind of had money set aside. Right now, I don't have that. So I was like, you know what? I always have wanted to make a difference. So let me try to go ahead and get this nonprofit started. So I had a young lady reach out. I reached out to her. She helped me get the nonprofit started. So that year, we were founded on 3 principles of community empowerment, scholarship, and philanthropy.
Okay.
So in 2022, the philanthropy part, I had a little cousin who was diagnosed with leukemia. So I wanted to kind of give back to childhood cancer research. So we had a charity event that year, had about maybe 300 guests or so. And so then we gave that to the Raleigh Foundation of Sand Springs, Georgia. We raised over $10,000. Gave money back to them. So then I started thinking about mental health, myself. Then my cousin committed suicide in 2022, which really made me like, I appreciate that. Like, man, you know what? Mental health is real. There's too many people out here suffering in silence. Yeah. So 2023 brought the charity event back. Christmas in Paris has always been the theme of it. And so 2023 had the charity event again. We raised money that year for this place called Friends of Advantage in my hometown of Athens, Georgia. Raised about $8,000 for them. They help people who get medication for mental illness and get services that they need they can't afford. So last year, in 2024, my board was like, you know what? We've been raising money a lot of times for other people. We're a nonprofit. Nonprofits, we don't make money off for profit. So anything we get has to be donated to us or through grants. And so 2024 had the event. We did a lot of events for mental health awareness. So Christmas in Paris, I was like, you know what, let me put a little spin to it and put the Masquerade Edition. So did the Masquerade Edition. I've had an event in my hometown of Athens for the last 4 years. The first year I had Nickel in there. Haven't brought it to Atlanta yet. I'm like, man, Atlanta has enough events going on. My hometown Athens, only an hour ride down 85. I'm like, people can come there for a night, have a good time and be good to go. They look forward to it. So this past year we had about almost 600 guests.
That's dope. And you put this all together like by yourself.
Yeah, I'm the head macho, but I have a committee and a board that really helps
Come on, committee. Come on, board. Hey. Now let me tell y'all something about this book up in here. You got some sponsors, ain't it?
Oh yes.
Baby, y'all raised how much money you raised?
That's how. Well, this year expenses were. Woo,
let's talk about
up there. It was up there. Expenses were. So those sponsors helped pay for the event. I'm telling you, like, this year we kind of cut about $5,000.
We got Tito's. Come on, Tito's.
Which wasn't what I wanted. But I said next year we'll kind of go more. This year the event was it cost.
Oh, we gonna be there.
Listen, y'all got to look. This year, December. I got dates that already. December 13th.
December 13th.
I want to come.
It's on my calendar. Yeah. I want to come.
Look, since we kind of here, I put y'all a little secret. So this year we did Masquerade in 2024, but 2025 is going to be Christmas in Paris, The Great Gatsby.
Ooh, The Great Gatsby. Yeah. I'm coming.
So,
I'm gonna come. I'm about to tag on Instagram. I'm gonna come to the ball.
Let me go ahead and put my dress on after that.
Let me
go ahead and go and put it on after that.
Look, I have to pay a firm,
I'm saving my dad.
I want to go. That's fine. Congratulations on all that. That's definitely doing the God's work. And I love that you always pick a foundation to donate to and all that stuff. That's fine. I think that's really important that we all support each other, supporting different causes. Sometimes people be for self, fancy cars, fancy this, fancy that, and it's people out here that need help. We need to be giving back.
Seriously.
That's what God put us here for. We're not supposed to be working for ourselves. We're supposed to be fulfilling a purpose.
Seriously.
So I'm really big on that. So
if you want to put it out there, do you know who you donate into for 2025 Christmas event?
We don't yet. We're trying to work because what we're working on right now. So pretty much what our big thing is for this year. My big thing I started January 1st was Thrive in 25. It was let's thrive,
Come on now,
what you doing?
Politician. I don't know. You got to
thrive, and thrive and everything. And so it's let's thrive. And I feel partnerships is the best way for you to thrive.
Yeah.
In the world. So pretty much, what we're trying to do with the foundation is get in funding to where if a person comes to us and says, hey, I'm in need, I need a therapist, I need facility help, then we can actually help them pay for those services.
Cool.
About the young gentleman last year, the little 13-year-old, we were able to pay for those 5 sessions to help them out. A lot of people don't have insurance. A lot of times for Black therapists, they don't take insurance.
Yeah.
So it's out of pocket.
Okay. So I think before we continue to get into you, let's get into the group chat real quick before we have to work on.
Okay.
So the girls group chat, it's a little spicy,
Okay.
and I think we don't have some emotional moments. I'm gonna give y'all some funny moments real quick. So the girls group chat is like it's a game. It's
Okay.
basically like a never have I ever. If you don't want to answer the question, just don't answer it because we ain't got no wine or anything. But if you do want to
I'm
answer
excited
it,
for this one.
you
You're
can
giving
answer
me
it.
very demure. I'm ready. I need to speak something.
I'm like, yeah.
That's it. Let me go
Okay,
to
let's see. Let's
Chat
see.
GPT. Give me some spicy questions for girls group chat. And sponsors, we need a new game, okay? We don't use up all the cards and let's get deep.
We did. We used up all the games. I mean, all the cards.
It's a sting. All right, here we go. Okay. First one hit hard. What's the most toxic thing you've ever done in a relationship?
Ooh.
Everybody got to answer.
Come on, somebody.
Toxic.
I did you.
I mean, sometimes I have been told that I'm toxic.
What's your vibe?
Yeah. What
Twice.
Oh damn, you're toxic. You're toxic.
Oh, but
No.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying, like,
Murphy,
Come on, bro.
oh, you're toxic.
come on,
Yeah.
come on.
Now talk to us now. What you
Okay.
did now?
For me, I'm the kind of person where it's kind of, and I can admit this. I don't like to admit. I guess I still can pick an argument for example. So I'm not the one sometimes to admit right away when I'm wrong. I kind of want to play that mind game because pretty much basically feel like it's not me, it's you situation, And then finally, I guess once I kind of get to that point, I'm like, okay, you know what, it was me. Because sometimes I can be very stubborn in situations. It's like, it wasn't that deep, But then as I think about it and reflect, I'm like, you know what, maybe I should have kind of like, you know what, I was wrong, let you ride.
Let me ask you something.
And keep moving.
Men be knowing what they doing, don't they? I be
The way
thinking
you
like,
just kind of
yeah, because I feel like us girls, we think men are stupid, but they're actually master. My mom said men are master manipulators. That's how God made men. That's what she told me. Look, he knows.
I mean, not
the
in
way he's a
every.
Pisces. I don't even believe this answer right now.
Yeah, y'all give Pisces a hard time. Pisces the best sign. Good.
No. Okay, what about you, Jonte? What's
Hey,
the toxic?
What's the most toxic thing I've done in a relationship?
Yes.
Knowing I got you wrapped around my fingers, I don't give who you with, baby. I'm gonna keep calling. Excuse me, hello, you done with her? Okay, come on.
Jonte,
Because I don't care who you're with. I understand that I'm gonna always have you wrapped around my finger. And guess what? It always works. Okay.
Lord.
Now that's toxic for real.
That's my
real.
secret weapon. Like,
Yes.
I'm gonna cause I be so chill. Okay, go ahead, do what you do. Go be with
Right.
whoever you want to be with. But guess what? As soon as I call,
He gonna come running.
he gonna drop you in the heartbeat, love.
Lord.
And it happens every time. What about you? Don't skip over the question.
We waited.
Like,
My toxic trait, I'm kind of controlling, kind of bossy. I also could be like the only, being an only child, kind of. I'm not the only child. Shout out to my sister, but we 16 years apart, so I kind of grew up like in my own little bubble. So I feel like I could be kind of self-centered, and that's just me being super aware and accountable. Like I could be super self-centered. Like you could be talking to me about you and your problems, and I'll find a way to make it about me somehow. And I think that's disgusting. So I'm working on that though. But I'm aware, so I'm not toxic because I'm super aware. And I'll stop myself and catch myself mid-sentence like, damn it, I'm doing it again. Here we go. But I am controlling and bossy. And with men, that's not cool because y'all men, I gotta let a man be a man.
But do you think a man can be too controlled?
Of course. And I ain't going. I am not going. I am not the one. Okay. So I'm trying to learn balance.
Chat GPT gave us some heavy hitters. We should
Go ahead now. What's the next one?
I don't think I would have asked you.
GPT is the GOAT, they say these days.
Said that. I could be using
Hey,
it.
the GOAT.
Have you ever faked the orgasm and why?
Ooh, I don't fake no orgasm. I answer first. I don't fake orgasms.
I had to make sure that
Hey,
you put it in the room. I had to put it in the room. I asked that because I was going to get
it's okay. I don't want to be too reckless, but yeah, you know.
No?
When
Do men fake orgasms?
I mean,
I think so.
No.
nah, because I mean,
if a man got a fake orgasm.
Yeah, I ain't gonna finna fake.
What about you, Jati? You have.
I have.
I know it. I know it.
Now, female. Now, y'all definitely will. Y'all
I don't do that. I do not play. It's a good.
All
I am 30 years old.
Because I know we
I'm
running
not saying no
over.
orgasms.
So
I'm not that serious. I will hurt your feelings right in the bedroom.
So you just let them right there, like, hey, this ain't.
I mean, I'm not gonna be mean. Like, if I don't have an orgasm, I'm just gonna like not have an orgasm. You gonna ask me afterwards? Did you? No. I'm gonna tell you no. we hurt. They be hurt. It's happening. Yeah.
Hey,
Go ahead.
It's a hurt feeling.
If your man or woman cheats but pay all the bills, you leaving us then. The way this couch got quiet, y'all shouldn't have to think about that.
I already know my answer. I'm just letting y'all go first.
For a man, things a little different. Well, I'm telling you this, okay? So we'll cheat, okay? Make it feel like it's okay. We get caught up, sorry, whatever. However, I'm gonna be real now. When a woman cheat on a man,
Y'all hurt. Y'all are so hurt.
It's a pride.
It's the pride.
It's like,
hurt.
She said the way this couch got quiet.
hey, that's a tough question. I mean, I feel like I'll depend on the amount of time and years, because I do know people that have been in situations like that, and you say one thing that you will leave the situation, but once you in that situation, and if you deep enough into the situation, depending on how it goes, you maybe wouldn't work it out.
Honestly, it depends on how rich you are. If you're like super, super rich and you pay all the bills, do you, baby? I'm blind.
Have a blast.
Have a blast. But if you paying all the bills but still struggling and you gonna try to cheat on me, honey, I'm leaving you. It depends on how much money you got, for real.
She being real.
What I look like crying in a Honda when I can be crying in a Bentley? I can be crying in a 6-bedroom mansion house with 2. No, I'm sorry. If you got money, I'm just blind. Like, do you know how many rich people cheat on their wives and they just so rich and the wife don't care? I'm that wife. I don't care what you do. And I'm not sleeping with you because I'm pretty sure you sleeping with everybody else but me. I'm doing my thing on the side too.
That's terrible.
Hey, you just there for.
Yeah, I'm just there because my bills are paid. When you die, the money gonna come to me. So hey,
She being wrong, right? Like, wrong.
It's
That's
no
what
way
it
to go
is. Some
around
men
that.
are okay with that too. Men don't care.
Yeah, we want your answer.
Y'all don't want my answer.
We want your answer.
Y'all don't.
Because
want
we got
my
one more
answer.
after this, then we got one more question for him.
All right, I'm gonna hurry up then. See, my mom always told me to keep some money on the side. Always keep your own stash. So when you need to leave these niggas, you can leave these niggas.
I've heard
And
that.
so I just always live by that. Like, I am not now, but me with the cheating, I'm a realistic person, right? I got a lot of masculine energy myself. So like, man, I understand, like, a man that can't be faithful all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's how you cheat. Be respectful. First of all, I'm a rip the band-aid off type person. I like to know. I'm not a girl that like don't want to know. I need to know. Tell me, babe, I ain't going for I slipped up last night. You know what I'm saying? Let me know so that I know and we can work through it. It's not a big deal. Like, cheating, I'm so secure in myself that it's like, okay, did you have fun? Like, was it a blast, honey? Like, did you wear a
Was
condom?
it worth it?
Yeah, like, I ain't tripping. Like, I know what I bring to the table. Like, sex is sex. That's everywhere. But like, when you're being disrespectful, if you're cheating on me publicly, you got bitches giving bitches ammo to laugh at me or talk about me, you have to go. I tell you this many times, I'm packing these niggas up. I don't care how much money they got, you're getting packed up around these parts because, I believe God's gonna take care of me. I just think I'm gonna be okay. Like, man or no man, I'm gonna be okay. Like, you can go. Quite frankly, you can definitely go. I want to be happy. I don't want to cry in no car. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to cry. I'm happy by myself, so why do I need to cry with anybody?
Where my tissue?
Why do I gotta cry?
voice?
Yeah, like, I don't want to cry. I just want to be happy.
Right.
I think I'm gonna leave off on a heavy hitter that was on here. Have you ever lied about a body count or about your body count?
Hey, you know what? When you in high school,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
of
I'm
course.
30 years old. Don't ask me no shit like that.
Right.
The fuck
Of
you
course.
talking about?
Yeah. But as an adult, like, what's the lie about for? Yeah, who counted? Come
Yeah. Where are we with it?
Right, who counted? So yeah.
I don't care what you do.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Okay.
Right.
Worry about yourself.
Hey, that's what it is.
Okay, so that's the girls group chat. I think that was my favorite girls group chat.
Yeah, I like that one. I want another
Maybe
one.
we should make our own questions on ChatGPT.
Yeah, are
We are out of time. I
Because
really
I want
wanted to
another
ask
question.
another because ChatGPT gave us some heavy hitters. So I think after this, we're going to have our own.
We can't squeeze one more.
Oh,
That was good. Come on, baby.
That's
We got a man in the building. Yeah, I like this conversation. I like a man's perspective.
Let's see what's going to
This is the last one.
I have to read the questions first, make sure they ain't too.
Shout out to ChatGPT, giving it up.
Hey, listen.
Okay. Have you ever been the other woman or the other man without knowing? What did you do when you found out? I ain't never been outside, bitch. Ever.
I was once. I ain't gonna lie.
Never.
I was. And I was aware.
Couldn't be me.
I was once.
I mean, yeah, well. Yeah.
You've never been a side nigga?
I ain't said side nigga, but this female, she was older. I mean,
You was the sugar baby.
I hear that.
So, hey,
I hear that.
Hey, listen, hey.
Nah, I was definitely the other woman once. And I think I was just coming out of a situation. It was like perspective. Like, I was just coming from being the wifey that got cheated on. So it was just like fun being the other, like, not saying being the other way around, but it's like, it's kind of carefree. It's like, I don't have to deal with none of your problems. You just go home, get out. Like, but it's trashy. Like, I don't recommend it. I only did it once for a short period of time. It's very trashy. But yeah, it was that rough.
I couldn't even think about it. I give main bitch energy. Like,
What if you didn't know them?
somebody going to jail?
You gonna know. Man.
I'm crazy. Like, I feel like I purposely put fear in men's hearts to not try me. Like, it's just no way. Like, but I'm working on myself. Like you said, therapy works. It really does.
Yeah. And it's trashy. I don't recommend. And I'm a girl's girl, so it's like, I ain't like that for me. But I did it just to see, like, what be going on? Like, why do bitches like this? Like, y'all like being the other bitch? Like, I just want to see what it's in. But I understand.
You like being the other bitch?
Yeah, like, but I do understand. Like, it's just stress free. It's like, okay, bye, go back on now. Like, you know, but it's whack. Like, who does that?
Okay. So that's the group chat for real this time.
Yeah, that's it. Now that's it.
And before we exit out, you have an upcoming event on the 28th. So let's talk about it. Let's hear more about it, y'all. I'm in the event.
That's right, she's gonna be there. So y'all come out. It's gonna be next Friday, February 28th.
Damn, it's next Friday?
This Friday, no.
Shit.
Yeah, it's a month going by fast.
It
Starting
is.
at 6 p.m. over at 565 Hank Aaron Street, Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm just gonna go over at the Hank Apartments Clubhouse, 565 Hank Aaron Street, Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia. It's gonna be an event, Thriving 25, reconnecting the community through conversations and karaoke.
Yes.
So we're gonna do a little conversations about mental health, also about grief. Also gonna have two of our hosts, Chris James and also Kamaya Chapman are gonna be the hosts. Then we have Ms. Shantae's gonna be featured on our panel. Dr. Cynthia Williams, Dr. Curtis Jasper. Also have Dr. Jane Alexander and also Dr. Vince Allen.
This is a big panel.
Big panel.
How many people on the panel? About 15. I'm like about 15.
I probably added myself on that. I'm like, I got mental health. Look, and I be on the panel.
We have great conversations. We
That's
kind of go into a room, let people have conversations, ask questions, kind of get conversations flowing. And a lot of times we find out after these events, people end up commenting on a therapist, want to connect with them, to get a therapist, or just want to know about what we're doing.
Awesome.
So it's a free event. So come out to the event.
Come
this
out
Friday.
at that.
This Friday.
And before, do you have any last words that you want to give some men, boys, anybody?
I always say, man, we always live by this thing. It's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
You're not alone. It's truly okay to not be okay. If you're not okay, it's okay. It takes courage to step up and say you're not okay. But it may not be today, tomorrow, next week. But I'm challenging all men, especially black men, 2025, thrive this year. And you can't thrive if your mental health is not together.
Amen.
So, hey,
Thanks so much for coming. This was great.
And where can they find you at on all platforms?
All platforms, Facebook, the DL Handy Foundation, Inc., Instagram, the DL Handy Foundation, Inc., or personal page, Casanova with a K, 12, or go to our website at www.dlhandyfoundation.org. There you'll find all our activities and everything we have going on within the community.
Amen.
I heard it here first. And that's Dear Pretty Girls for you today, men edition. Like he said, make sure y'all go follow him on all platforms. Like, look, we wasn't kidding. Like, we ain't playing about men mental health 2025, okay? I'm gonna need society to do better as one. Rocky, where can they find us at? Shoot.
You can find us at dearprettygirls.xo on Instagram. You can also stream us on all your streaming platforms where you can find all podcasts. We are talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. You already know.
IHQ Network.
IHQ Network. Shout out to the IHQ. I keep forgetting
Network.
to say y'all. Stop playing. Y'all playing too much.
And y'all already know. Follow our personal Instagram, Shantia Janae and Rocky.
Rakia Brown. God, it's my real name.
I'm so used to calling you Rocky.
Everybody calls me Rakia.
Because I'm going to say Rocky
Okay.
Brown. Like, that is not
It's Rakia Brown because, like, I'm iconic. So when you think Oprah Winfrey, it's Oprah Winfrey. It's not like a nickname. It's Oprah Winfrey. Angie Martinez. Period.
And
Kobe
y'all
Bryant.
heard
Brock
it here
Taylor.
first.
I like that.
Yeah.
So this is Dear Pretty Girls. And remember, email us. We keep forgetting. Email us with your stories. DearPrettyGirls.xo@gmail. Get in the girls group chat. Shout out to UK. Shout out to Vietnam. The top 2 countries that actually listen.
Period.
Thank you.
Shout out to
But
Vietnam.
I think that's it.
That's
and
it.
remember, being pretty isn't
All to your stories.
See y'all next time. Bye.